you. Again, just want to reiterate how excited we are and thank everyone who worked on the production. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So thank you so much.
Welcome to Bedford Falls, Christmas Eve, 1945.
I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear Father.
Joseph, Jesus and Mary, help my friend, Mr. Bailey.
Oh, dear Lord, please, please help my son George tonight.
Never thinks of anyone but himself, Lord. That's why he's in trouble.
George is a good guy. Give him a break, God.
Love him, dear Lord. Watch over him tonight.
Please, God, help my daddy. Something's wrong.
Please bring Daddy back.
Please,
Please, God.
Please take us.
Do this for George.
Hello, Joseph. Trouble?
Looks like we'll have to send someone down. A lot of people asking for help for a man named George Bailey.
George Bailey. Yes. Tonight's his crucial night. Whose turn is it?
That's why I came to see you, sir. It's Clarence's turn again.
Oh, Clarence. Hasn't gotten his wings yet, has he?
We keep passing him over. He's got the IQ of a rabbit.
Yes, but he's got the faith of a child. Simple. Joseph, send for Clarence.
Oh, you sent for me, sir?
Yes, Clarence. A man down on earth needs our help.
Is he sick?
No, much worse. He's discouraged. In exactly 1 hour, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away my greatest gift. The gift of life.
Dear, his life. Sir, if I could accomplish this mission, might I perhaps win my wings? I've been waiting for over 200 years now, sir, and people are beginning to talk.
Clarence, you do a good job with George Bailey, and you'll get your wings.
Poor George.
Oh, then I've got to dress. What are they wearing now?
You will spend the next hour getting acquainted with George Bailey. If you're going to help a man, you're going to want to know something about him, don't you? Now, see the town?
Where? I can't see a thing.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't got your wings yet. Now look, I'll help you out. Concentrate. Begin to hear anything?
All right, guys, let's go. Everybody, go to the hill. Everybody, let's go to the hill, everybody. All right, next stop, here we go. Oh, down the hill.
Why, yes, this is amazing.
If you ever get your wings, you could do this all by yourself.
Okay, boys, who's up?
That's your problem right there, George Bailey. That's him when he was 12. Something happens here while they're setting that you'll have to remember later on.
Who's next down the hill?
I am. Hee-haw.
Oh, let's go, Sam. Hee-haw, Sam. There goes Sam. Now, here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey.
I'm not scared. He's gone under thin ice. Help, help, George, help!
Don't worry, Harry, I'm coming. Make a chain, make a chain. Okay, Harry, grab my hand.
George saved his brother's life that day, but he caught a bad cold which infected his left ear, cost him his hearing in that ear. It was weeks before he was able to go back to his after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower.
You're late.
Yes, sir.
George. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces?
Please, Georgie. I like him.
You like every boy.
What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Lock me out?
Walk you out?
Bye, Georgie. Bye, Mary.
Made up your mind yet?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
I don't like coconut.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look, in this magazine, from Tahiti, the Fiji Islands, the Coral Sea. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society.
A new magazine. I never saw it before.
Of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I'll get your ice cream.
Is this the ear you can't hear in? George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
George. George.
Yes, sir?
You are not paid to be a canary.
No, sir. Here you are. Hey, what's this? We regret to inform you that your son Robert died very suddenly this morning of influenza. Mr. Gower, do you need something? Anything?
Take those capsules over to Mrs. Blaine. She's waiting for them.
Yes, sir. They have the diphtheria there, haven't they, sir?
Didn't you hear what I said?
Yes, sir, but what's in the capsules? Did you fill them from that bottle?
Going.
But yes, sir. I'll go ask Pop what to do.
Tilly, could you get the phone? Avast there. Where are you heading?
I've got to see Pop, Uncle Billy.
Maybe later, George. There's a squall in there. It's shaping up into a storm.
Hey, Pop.
1 minute, son. Mr. Potter, all I'm asking for is 30 more days. Just 30 short days. I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow.
Pop.
Have you put any real pressure on these people of yours to pay those mortgages?
Times are bad, Mr. Potter. A lot of these people are out of work.
Well then, foreclose.
I can't do that. These families have children.
They're not my children. Are you running a business or a charity ward? Not with my money.
Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all the money you've got.
Oh, I suppose I should give it to miserable failures like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me.
He's not a failure.
George.
You can't say that about my father. You're the biggest man in town, Pop. Bigger than him, bigger than everybody.
All right, son, all right. Thanks, I'll talk to you tonight.
That medicine should have been there now, Go. It'll be there in 5 minutes. Where's Mrs. Blaine's box of capsules? What kind of tricks are you playing? You deliver them right away. Don't you know that boy is very sick?
You're hurting my sore ear.
You lazy loafer.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you're unhappy, but you got the telegram and you're upset. You put something bad in those capsules. Look, the bottle you took the powder from. It's poison. I tell you, it's poison. I know you feel bad. Don't hurt my sore ear again.
Oh no. George.
Oh, Mr. Gower, I won't ever tell anyone. I know how you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die I won't.
Oh, George.
You know, I like him. I like George Bailey. Tell me, did he ever tell anybody about the pills?
Not a soul.
Did he ever marry the girl? Did he ever go exploring?
To answer that, let's go forward in time more than 10 years. George has booked passage on a cattle boat to Europe, and he's getting ready to leave Bedford Falls.
Come on into dinner, George.
Mother, would I miss my last meal in the old Bailey boarding house?
Hope you have a good trip, George. Uncle Billy and I am going to miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, Pop. Say, what's the matter? You look tired.
Had another tussle with Potter today. I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us a little bit.
What's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway?
He's a sick man, frustrated sick, and his mind is sick, and his soul's sick, if he has one. He hates everybody that has anything that he can't have. He hates us mostly, I guess.
Gangway, gangway, I'm off to the dance. You coming later, George?
What do you mean, and be bored to death?
Oh, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. See you later.
Did I act that way when I graduated?
Pretty much. You know, George, I wish we could send Harry to college with you.
We have that all figured out. You see, Harry will take my job at the building and loan, work there for 4 years, then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
No younger than I was.
Well, you were born older, George.
How's that?
I said you were born older. I suppose you've decided what you want to do when you get out of college.
Oh, well, you know what I've always talked about.
I know
Those
it's
things.
soon to talk about it.
Well, now, Pop, I couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in a shabby little office. I want to do something big, something important.
You know, George, I feel that in a small way, we are doing something important. It's satisfying a fundamental urge. It's deep in the race for a man to want his own roof and walls and fireplace, and we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Pop. I know that. I just feel like if I didn't get away, I'd bust.
Yes, you're right. You've got talent, son. I've seen it. You get yourself an education and get out of here.
Pop, you want a shot? I think you're a great guy. Well, I think I'll get dressed and go on over to Harry's party.
Have a good time, son.
Oh, George.
Uh-oh, Sam Wainwright.
Well, it looks like you're going to make it after all. But Harry's the guy I want to see. Coach has heard all about him. We need guys like Harry, not old, run-down guys like you.
Hi there, Georgie.
Hi, Violet.
I have one dance left on my card, and I was just wondering.
Hey, George!
Marty!
George, do me a favor, will ya? You remember my kid sister Mary? Just dance with her one time, and you'll give her the thrill of her life.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, sis. You remember George? George, this is Mary. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Well. Hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you didn't know me.
I don't.
You pass me on the street almost every day.
Me? No, that was a little girl named Mary Hatch. That wasn't you. Shall we dance? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Oh boy, am I glad I went to that dance. I told Harry I thought I'd be bored to death. You know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Why don't you say it?
Maybe I will say it. Say, how old are you anyway?
18.
18? Why, it was only last year you were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh, no, just right. Your age fits you. Hey, the old Granville house. I'm gonna see if I can break a window. You see, you make a wish and then try and break some glass, and you gotta be a pretty good shot nowadays, too.
Oh no, George, don't. It's full of romance, that old place. I'd like to live in it.
In that place? I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now, watch.
What did you wish, George?
Oh, well, not just one wish, a whole hatful. Mary, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next year and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm going to build bridges a mile. What, are you going to throw a rock?
What the?
Hey, that was pretty good. What'd you wish, Mary?
Oh no, if I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. And then you could swallow it and it would all dissolve, see? And the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much?
Yes! Why didn't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
You want me to kiss her, eh? Well, hey, you just wait. I'll show you some kissing that'll put hair back on your head.
Gah. You just wasted all.
George, come on home quick. Your father's had a stroke.
What? Mary, I'm sorry. I've got to go.
I want this board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out here after Peter Bailey's death. Good luck to you at school, George. I know you're anxious to make the train. And now we come to the real purpose of this meeting, to appoint a successor to our dear friend, George Bailey.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to my real purpose. I'll claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to dissolve this institution and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
Potter, you dirty, contemptible. It's too soon to talk after Peter Bailey's death to talk about chloroforming the building and loan.
I will ask the two executive officers to withdraw. Before you go, I'm sure the whole board wishes to express its deep sorrow at the passing of Peter Bailey. It was his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say that to the public, Peter Bailey was the building and loan.
That's fine, Potter, coming from you, considering you probably drove him to his grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. Now, you take this loan here to Ernie Bishop. You know that fellow that sits around all day on his brains in his taxi? I happen to know the bank turned down this loan. But he comes here and we're building him a house worth $5,000? Why?
Well, I handled that, Mr. Potter. You have all the papers there. His salary, insurance. I can personally vouch for his character.
Friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
You see, if you shoot pool with some employee here, you could come and borrow money. What does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas. Now
Just hold on, Mr. Potter. Now, you're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy? He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? You're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You just said that what did you say a minute ago? That they had to wait and save their money before they even thought of a decent home? Wait? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they... Do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building
I
and
know
loan.
very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. There's just one thing more, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash. I want my motion acted on.
What happened? We heard yelling.
Well, we're being voted out of business after 25 years. Easy come, easy go. Oh, George, you'll miss your train. You're a week late for school already. Go on.
What's going on in there?
Oh, never mind. Don't worry about that. They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 55.
56.
George, they voted Potter down. They want to keep it going. They've got one condition, only one condition, and that's the best part of it. They've appointed George here as executive secretary to take his father's place.
Dr. Campbell, now let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. Uncle Billy, he's your man.
But George, they'll vote with Potter otherwise.
I know. He didn't go, did he?
That's right. Not only that, but he gave his school money to his brother, Harry, and sent him to college instead.
But what happened to George?
George got 4 years older, waiting for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan.
There are plenty of jobs around for somebody that likes to travel. Look at this here. Venezuela oil fields, wanted man with construction experience. Here's the Yukon, right here, wanted man with engineering experience. There he is! Old Professor Phi Beta Kappa All-American Bailey.
Oh, Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, nobody ever changes here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you. Let's get you home. Mother's home cooking the fatted calf.
Wait a minute. George, Uncle Billy, I want you to meet Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, I wired you I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, how do you do? Congratulations. What am I doing? Congratulations! What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Well, I tell you, it's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
No, he got you and the job?
George, about that job. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years and... Wait a minute, I forgot the bags. I'll be right back.
George, that's all Harry ever talks about.
Ruth, what about this job?
Well, my father owns a glass factory in Buffalo. He wants to get Harry started in the research business.
Is it a good job?
Yes, very. Not much money, but a good future. Harry's a genius at research. My father just fell in love with him.
And you did too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello, Mother.
Hello, George. How do you like her?
Ruth? She's swell, isn't she?
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Keep him out of Bedford Falls, anyway.
Did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Mm-hmm.
Came back 3 days ago.
Mm.
Nice girl, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Kind that'll help you find the answers, George.
Mm-hmm.
Stop that grunting.
Hmm.
Can you give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary?
Sure, Sam Wainwright.
Hee-haw!
Yeah, Sam's crazy about Mary.
She's not crazy about him.
How do you know?
Well, I've got eyes, don't I? Why, she lights up like a firefly whenever you're around. Besides, Sam Wainwright's away in New York, and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war.
Well, I don't know about war.
Mother of mine, I can see right through you, right to your back collar button. Trying to get rid of me, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, good night, Mrs. Bailey.
George, oh George.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Vi.
Where you-
Oh, I'll probably end up down at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. What are you doing tonight? Are you game, Vi? Let's make a night of it.
I love it, George. What do we do?
Let's go out in the fields and take off our shoes and walk in the grass. And then we can go up to the falls. It's beautiful up there in the moonlight, and there's a green pool up there, and we can swim in it. And then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sun rise against the peaks, and we'll stay up there the whole night. And everybody will be talking, and there'll be a terrific scandal.
Georgie, have you gone crazy? Why, walk in the grass in my bare feet. Why, it's 10 miles up to Mount Bedford. If you think...
Oh, okay. Just forget about the whole thing.
George Bailey,
Hello, Mary.
have you made up your mind
About what?
about coming in? Your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
My mother just called you? Well, how did she know? I'll come in for a minute. I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here, you know? When'd you get back?
Tuesday.
Thought you'd go back to New York like Sam and Angie and the rest of them.
Oh, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, oh, everything.
What's that drawing there?
I drew it at school.
George lassos the moon. Huh. Some joke.
Nice about your brother Harry and Ruth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No, marriage is all right for Harry and Marty and Sam and you.
Mary, who's down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Well, you tell him to go right back home. And don't you leave this house either. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight.
You know, I didn't come here to...
What did you come here for, then?
I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one that has all the answers. You tell me.
Why don't you go home?
That's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Hello? Oh, Mary, the telephone. It's Sam.
I'll get it. Hello?
Sorry, forgot my hat.
Hee-haw. Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm great, gee. It's good to hear your voice again.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
Hee-haw, put him on.
George, Sam wants to speak to you.
What? All right. Hi, Sam.
Hey, a fine pal you are. What are you trying to do, steal my girl?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal anybody's girl.
Never mind. Anyway, I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
I am not.
You can both listen together. Come closer. We're listening, Sam.
I've got a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, do you remember that night at Martini's bar when you told me someplace you read about making plastics out of soybeans? Dad snapped up the idea. He's going to build a factory out of Rochester. How do you like that?
Rochester? Why Rochester?
Well, why not?
Why not right here? You remember that old tool machinery works? You can tell your father he can get that for a song and all the labor he wants too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed down.
That's so. Well, I'll tell him. Now, listen, have you got any money?
Money? A little.
I want you to put every cent you have in our stock. Do you hear? And George, I may have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to that broken down building and loan. Mary, would you tell the guy that I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime? Do you hear? The chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Now you listen to me. I don't want any plastics and I don't want any ground floors and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do. And you're, oh, Mary.
George.
Oh, Mary.
Mary? George, what are you? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Ooh, so what happened next?
What do you think?
Ready? Here comes the bouquet.
In the taxi.
Congratulations, you two.
Hey, look, there's somebody driving this cab. Hiya, Ernie. Look, champagne.
Yeah, Bert the cop sent that over. He said to float away to Happy Land on the bubbles. Where are you two going on this here now honeymoon?
Where are we going? Well, look at this. Count it, Mary.
I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shoot the works. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Wow. Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
Wow, that does it.
Oh, don't look now, but there's something funny going on over the bank, George. I've never really seen one, but that's got all the earmarks of being a run. Yeah?
Hey, Ernie, if you've got any money in the bank, you better hurry.
George, let's not stop. Let's go.
I'll be back in a minute, Mary. Well, hello, everybody. What's the matter here? Can't you get in? What is this, Uncle Billy, a holiday?
George, come over here.
Now, look, why don't you all settle down? Just make yourselves at home. All right, now, what happened? How did it start?
How does a thing like this ever start? All I know is the bank called our loan.
When?
About an hour ago. I handed over all our cash.
All of it?
Every cent of it, and it still was less than we owe them.
Holy mackerel!
And then I got scared, George, and I closed the doors and
Hello?
Hello? George? There's a rumor around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that. George, are you all right? Do you need any police? Mobs
Police?
get
No.
pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
No, we don't need any police.
Georgie, I'm going to help you out in this little crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close up for a week and then reopen.
So you just took over the bank?
I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Just tell them to bring their shares over here and I'll pay 50 cents on the dollar.
Oh, you never miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're gonna miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you will never reopen.
I have some news for you folks. I was just talking to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the bank. The bank's gonna open next week.
But George, I got money here. Can he guarantee this place?
Well, no, Ed. I didn't even ask him. We don't need Potter over here.
Then I'll take mine now.
No, but you're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. Ed, your money's in Joe's house, and in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Macklin's house, and 100 others. Why, you're lending them the money to build, and then they're going to pay it back to you as best they can. Now, what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
I got $242 in here, and $242 isn't going to break anybody.
Ed, did you get your money?
No.
Well, I did. Old man Potter will pay 50 cents on the dollar for every share you've got. Cash.
Okay, Randall. Better to get half than nothing.
Ed, stop. I beg of you not to do this thing. If Potter gets a hold of this building alone, there'll never be another decent house built in this town. He's already got charge of the bank, and now he's after us. Why? It's very simple, because we're cutting in on his business. That's why. And because he wants to keep you living in his slums and paying the kind of rent he decides. Joe, you had one of those Potter houses, didn't you? Well, have you forgotten? Have you forgotten what he charged you for that broken down shack? Here, Tom, you know. You remember last year when things weren't going so well and you couldn't make your payments? Well, you didn't lose your house, did you? You think Potter would have let you keep it? Can't you understand what's happening here? Potter isn't selling, Potter's buying. And why? Because we're panicky and he's not. He's picking up a bargain. Now, we can get through this thing all right. We've got to stick together, though. We've got to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, and I need money. How am I going to live until the bank reopens?
How much do you need?
Hey! Where did you come from? Mary, are you sure?
Of course.
Okay, then. We've got $2,000. This will tide us over until the bank reopens. All right. Ed, how much do you need?
$242.
Oh, Ed, just enough to tide you over until the bank reopens.
I'll take $242.
Okay, there you are.
That'll close my account.
Your account's still here. That's a loan. Charlie?
I got $300 here, George.
Now, Charlie, what will it take till the bank opens? What do you need? What do you need, Charlie?
Well, I suppose $20.
$20. Now you're talking. Thanks, Charlie. That's fine. All right, now, Mrs. Davis, how much do you want?
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind about that. How much do you want?
Well, could I please have $17.50?
Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. Okay, next. 7.
We're gonna make it, George.
6.
They'll never close us up today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo! Look, we're still in business. We still have $2 left. Mama dollar and Papa dollar. If you want to keep this old building and loan in business, you better have a family real quick.
We should have one of those wedding cigars.
Oh, wedding. Holy mackerel, I'm married. Where's Mary? Mary! Look, I got a train to catch. Well, the train's gone. I wonder if Ernie's still here with his taxi cab.
George, there's a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife. Mrs. Bailey. That's my wife. Here, I'll take it in here. Mary, listen. Listen, dear, I'm sorry. Come home? What home? 320 Sycamore. Well, what? Whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh? 320 Sycamore? This is the old Granville place. What's this on the door? Bridal suite.
Hi, George. Good evening, sir. Entree, monsieur.
Ernie, what's up?
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
It took us all day, George, but we got the dining room patched up and dry, and the bedroom. Bonsoir, madame et monsieur.
Mary, how did you ever... Oh, Mary.
Remember the night we broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
You're wonderful.
Married and again unable to leave Bedford Falls, George threw himself into the Bailey Savings and Loan. Instead of the bridges and skyscrapers that he had dreamed of, he built small houses for families in Bailey Park so they could escape the tenements of Potter's Fields, and people started to notice.
Look, Mr. Potter, it's no skin off my nose. I'm just your little rent collector. But you can't laugh off this Bailey Park anymore. 15 years ago, half a dozen houses stuck here and there where the old cemetery was. But today, dozens of the prettiest little houses you ever saw. 90% owned by suckers who used to pay rent to you. Your Potter's Field, my dear Mr. Employer, is becoming just that. And the local yokels making with those David and Goliath wisecracks.
Oh, they are they? Even though they know the Baileys never made a dime out of it?
Well, you know very well why. The Baileys were all chums. Every one of these homes is worth twice what it cost the building and loan to build. If I were you, Mr. Potter.
You are not me.
As I said, it's no skin off my nose. But one of these days, this bright young man is gonna be asking George Bailey for a job.
Bailey's family has been a boil on my neck long enough. Get me George Bailey.
Mr. Potter?
Hello, George. Have a seat. I'll get right to the point. I'm an old man and most people hate me, but I don't like them either. So that makes it all even. You know just as well as I do that I run practically everything in this town, but the Bailey Building and Loan. You know also that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it. But I haven't been able to. You have been stopping me. In fact, you have beaten me, George, and as anyone in this county can tell you, that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones that kept our heads. You saved the building alone, and I saved the rest.
Yes, well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George, the suckers. Now, I've stated my side very frankly. Now let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week?
45.
45. 45. Out of which, after supporting your mother and paying your bills, you're able to keep, say, $10 if you skimp. A child or two comes along, and you won't even be able to save that $10. Now, if this young man of 28 was a common, ordinary yokel, I'd say he was doing fine. But George, George Bailey is not a common, ordinary yokel. He's an intelligent, smart, ambitious young man who hates his job, who hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. A young man who's been dying to get out on his own ever since he was born. A young man, the smartest one in the crowd, mind you. A young man who has to sit by and watch his friends go places, and because he's trapped, yes sir, trapped, into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to the rabble. Do I paint a correct picture, or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point? My point is, I want to hire you.
Hire me?
Yes. I want you to manage my affairs, run my properties, George. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind making a living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? You know, this is me, remember? Me? George Bailey?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has enough brains to climb aboard.
Holy mackerel. What about the building and loan?
Oh, confound it, man. Are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year starting today. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I just wonder if it would be possible for you to give me 24 hours to think it over.
Sure. You go home and talk it over with your wife.
I'd like to do that.
In the meantime, I'll draw up the papers.
All right, sir.
Okay, George, shall we shake on it?
Okay, Mr. Potter. No, now wait a minute here. I don't need 24 hours. I don't have to talk to anybody. I know right now, and the answer is no. No, doggone it. You sit around here and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. And the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. Mary, you up? You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, going on a New York business trip a couple of times a year, maybe Europe once in a while? Want the moon? I'll throw a lasso around it and hold her down for you.
Buffalo gal, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight?
Oh, Mary, hi.
Hi.
Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright and anybody else in this town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. I promised you Your what?
My baby.
Your Mary, are you on the nest?
George Bailey lasso's stork.
Lasso's a stork. Well, you mean you, what is it, a boy or a girl?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've probably already guessed that George never leaves Bedford Falls.
No.
Mary had her baby, then 3 more. She remade the old Granville house into a home. Night after night, George came back late from the office. Potter was bearing down hard. Then came a war. Everybody did their part, but Harry Bailey topped them all. A Navy flyer, he shot down 15 planes, 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport ship full of soldiers.
Yes. And George?
George, 4F on account of his ear, George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls. Air raid warden, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. Like everybody else, on VE Day, he wept and he prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and he prayed again. That brings us to this morning, the day before Christmas, about 10 a.m.
Extra! Hey, Bert, look at the paper. President decorates Harry Bailey. Local boy wins Congressional Medal of Honor.
That's really something, isn't it?
Uncle Billy, good to see you outside on such a fine day. Have you seen the paper?
Later. I'm off to the bank to make our weekly deposit. I'll see you back at the building and loan.
Okay. Hey, Ernie!
Well then, deposit December 24th for account $8,000. There we go.
Why, hello, Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter.
Well, good morning, Mr. Potter. Look, may I see your paper? I haven't had the chance.
No, of course not.
Oh, what's this? Harry Bailey wins congressional medal. Oh, that couldn't be one of the Bailey boys. You just can't keep those Baileys down, now can you, Mr. Potter?
How does Slacker George feel about that?
Oh, very jealous, I'm sure. Of course, Slacker George would have gotten 2 of those medals if he had gone.
Bad ear?
Yes. After all, Potter, some people like George had to stay at home. Not every heel was in Germany and Japan. Here you go, and goodbye.
Miserable, foolish clerk. What's this? Why, this must be thousands.
Good morning, Horace.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Here you go.
I guess you forgot something.
What?
Aren't you going to make a deposit?
Oh, sure I am. Here's the slip right there.
Well, it's usually customary to bring the money with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew I had it. I'll be right back.
Mr. Bailey? Mr. Bailey?
Morning, Tilly. Have you seen the paper? Tilly, I can't quite hear you.
Oh, I've got something better. I'm talking to Harry on the phone, long distance from Washington. He reversed the charges. It's okay, isn't it?
Reverse the charges? Of course it is. For a hero. Has Uncle Billy come in yet?
He stopped at the bank first. Oh, and George, the bank examiner's here.
You keep talking to Harry. I'll be right back. Good morning, sir.
Carter, bank examiner.
Mr. Carter, Merry Christmas. We're all excited around here. My brother just got the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yes. Well, I guess they do these things. I trust you've had a good year.
Good year? Well, between you and me, Mr. Carter, we're broke.
Very funny. Although I shouldn't wonder when you okay reverse charges on personal long distance calls.
George, shall I hang up?
No. Wait for Uncle Billy.
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to finish with you by tonight. I want to spend Christmas in Elmira with my family.
I don't blame you at all, Mr. Carter. Just step right in here. We'll fix you up. Well, hello, Vi.
George, can I see you for a second?
Well, of course you can. Go on in the office there. Oh, hey, Uncle Billy, talk to Harry. He's on the telephone. I'll be in my office when you're done.
Hello. Hello. Yes, Harry. Yes, everything's fine. It's got to be here somewhere.
Uncle Billy, what's wrong?
Nothing, just...
So you're really leaving, eh? Here you are, character reference.
Character. If I had any character.
It takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again. And look, here's something to help you out.
No, George. I can't take your money.
Here now, you're broke, aren't you? What do you want to do, hawk your furs? You know they charge for meals and rent up there just the same as they do in Bedford Falls. That's a loan now. That's my business, building a loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
I sure will.
What goes on? Did you hang up on Harry? Is Uncle Billy in his office?
Yes.
What's going on? The bank examiner's here.
No. He's here?
He wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you?
Shut the door.
Billy, what's going on? Did you see Uncle Billy with any cash last night?
He had it on his desk, counting it before he closed up.
Now look, did you buy anything?
Nothing, not even a stick of gum.
All right. Now we'll go over every step you took since you left the house. When did you last see it?
At the bank. I mean, I think.
You think? And did you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe? Maybe? I don't want any maybe. We've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Uncle Billy, look. Do you realize what's going to happen if we don't find it? Listen to me. Do you have any secret hiding place anywhere?
I've gone over the whole house, even in rooms that have been locked since I lost Laura.
Where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? You realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail. Well, it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Daddy, did you bring the Christmas tree?
What Christmas tree?
The Merry Christmas tree for the window.
No, I left it at the office.
Where's your coat and hat?
Left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. Bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's so excited.
Must you keep playing that?
I have to practice it for the party tonight, Daddy.
Better hurry and shave. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here.
Hectic day?
Oh yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
But what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Pete, why don't you go on upstairs and see if Zuzu wants anything?
Zuzu? What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she's just got a cold. She's in bed. Caught it coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, a sore throat or what?
It's just a cold. The doctor says it's nothing serious.
The doctor? Was the doctor here?
Yes, I called him right away. He says it's nothing to worry about.
Is she running a temperature?
Just a teensy one, 99.6. She'll be all right.
Of course, it's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia. Drafty old barn. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call this a happy family? Why do you have to have all these kids?
Where are you going?
I'm going up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy. I want a flower.
Now, stay in bed. Where do you think you're going?
I want to give my flower a drink.
All right. Now give Daddy the flower. I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy, the petals fell off. Paste it.
All right, give it here. And we'll paste it together here. There it is, good as new. Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try and get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but you just go to sleep and then you can dream about it and it'll be a whole garden.
It will.
Uh-huh.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. I'm sure she'll be all right. The doctor said that she should be out of bed in time to have her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello? Hello, Mrs. Welch? This is George Bailey. I'm Zuzu's father. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that, half naked? Do you realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia on account of you? Is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have teachers like you, stupid, silly, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on? Maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids, and maybe they don't have any decent clothes, and it's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? I think she's hung up.
I'll hang her up.
Hey, you! I'll knock your block off!
What is that? Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mr. Welch. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welch. Give me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George, stop it.
Will you get out and let me handle this? Hello? Oh, what? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welch, anytime you think you're man enough, Hello?
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
How should I know? What do you think I am, a dictionary? Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You play it over and over again. Now stop it! Stop it!
George, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology, too. I'm sorry. What do you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Janie, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't you go
Mary.
and... Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Shall I pray for him?
Yes, Janie. Pray very hard. Hello, Uncle Billy?
I'm in trouble, Mr. Potter. I need help. Through some sort of an accident, my company shortened their accounts. Bank examiner got there today. I've got to raise $8,000 immediately.
Oh, that's what the reporters wanted to talk to you about.
Reporters?
Yeah, they called me up from your building and loan. Oh, there's a man over there from the DA's office, too. He's looking for you.
Please, help me, Mr. Potter. Can't you see what it means to my family? I'll pay any sort of a bonus on the loan, any interest, if you still want the building and loan.
George, could it possibly be there's a slight discrepancy in the books?
No, sir, there's nothing wrong with the books. I've just misplaced $8,000. I can't find it anywhere.
You misplaced $8,000?
Yes, sir.
Have you notified the police?
No, sir, I didn't want the publicity. Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
They're going to believe that one. What have you been doing, George? Playing the market with the company's money?
No, sir. No, sir, I haven't.
Oh, is it a woman, then? You know it's all over town that you've been giving money to Violet Bick.
What?
Not that it makes any difference. But why did you come to me? Why don't you go to Sam Wainwright and ask him for the money?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
Well, what about all your other friends?
They don't have that kind of money, Mr. Potter. You know that. You're the only one in town who can help me.
I've suddenly become quite important. What kind of security would I have, George? Have you got any stocks?
No, sir.
Bonds, real estate, collateral of any kind?
I have some life insurance, a $15,000 policy.
Yeah. How much is your equity in it?
$500.
$500. And you asked me to lend you $8,000. Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You're going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man? A miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees and begging for help. No securities, no stocks, no bonds, nothing but a miserable little $500 equity in life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and ask them to let you have $8,000? You know why? Because they'd run you out of town on a rail. But I tell you what I'm going to do for you, George. Since the state examiner is still here and is a stockholder of the building and loan, I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, malfeasance. Oh, all right, George. Go ahead. You can't hide in a little town like this.
Another double.
You sure, George?
Yes, I'm sure. Oh, God. Dear Father in heaven. Now, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, oh God.
Are you all right, George? You want somebody to take you home, huh?
Why you drink so much, my friend? Please go home, Mr. Bailey. This is Christmas Eve.
Bailey. Which Bailey?
This is Mr. George Bailey.
The next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. She cried for an hour. It isn't enough. She slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You have to bawl her out.
You get out of here, Mr. Welch! You hit my best friend! You get out!
You all right, George?
Who was that?
Yeah, he's gone. Don't worry, his name is Welch.
Oh, Welch. That's what I get for praying.
Oh, no. Please don't go this way, Mr. Bailey. Please don't go away. Please.
We're more dead than alive. DA, photographers. $8,000. Look at that water.
What is he doing on the bridge? Is he... Oh, dear. Goodbye, Joseph.
Well... It's about time, I guess. Here goes.
Oh! Oh! Whoa! No! No! I can't swim!
What the? Hold on! Here I come!
Help! Help!
Hold still, will ya?
Oh, thank you. Oh, help! Oh. Well, thank you, sir, for the loan of your warm booth. I'm afraid didn't have time to get some stylish clothing. My wife gave me these underthings on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
Excuse me?
Oh, Tom Sawyer's trying out too. You should read the new book that Mark Twain's writing now. Yeah, good.
How did you happen to fall in?
Oh, I didn't fall in. I jumped in to save George.
What? Save me?
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yeah, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
What?
I had to act quickly. That's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, you would try to save me. You see, and you did, and that's how I saved you.
Very funny.
Your lip's bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer a little bit ago.
Oh, no, George. I'm the answer to your prayer. That's why I was sent down here.
Say, how do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
Who are you then?
Clarence Oddbody. AS2.
AS2? What's that, AS2?
Angel Second Class.
What the? You better. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh, brother. Wonder what Martini put in those drinks. What'd you say just a minute ago? Why'd you want to save me?
That's what I was sent down for. I am your guardian angel.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself for money, George. $8,000.
Yeah, now just things like that. How do you know that?
I told you, I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like the kind of angel I'd get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
Well, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
I don't know whether I like it very much being seen around with an angel without any wings.
Oh, I've got to earn them, and you'll help me, won't you, George?
Sure. How?
By letting me help you.
Yeah? Only one way you can help me. You don't happen to have $8,000 on you, do you?
Oh, no. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, bub. Found it out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
No, look, George, you mustn't talk like that. I won't get my wings with that attitude. You just don't know all that you've done. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody'd be a lot better off. My wife and my kids and my friends.
Oh, God, this isn't going to be easy. You still think killing yourself would make everyone feel happier, huh?
Well, I don't know. I guess you're right. Suppose it would have been better if I'd never been born at all.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, you mustn't say things like that, George. Wait a minute. That's an idea. What do you think, Joseph? Yeah, that'll do it. All right. All right, George, you've got your wish. You've never been born. You don't have to make all that fuss about it, Joseph.
What'd you say?
Oh, you've never been born. You don't exist, George. You don't have a care in the world. No worries, no obligations, no $8,000 to find, no Potter looking to get you with the sheriff.
Say something else in that ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it.
Well, that's the doggonedest thing. I haven't heard anything out of that ear since I was a kid.
And your lips stopped bleeding too, George.
Oh, what do you know about that? What's happening? What I need is a couple of good stiff drinks. How about you, Angel? You want a drink? Come on, as soon as these clothes of ours are dry.
Oh, the clothes are dry.
What do you know about that? Stove must be hotter than I thought. Now, come on, we'll stroll up to a... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stroll. You fly.
Oh, no, I can't fly. I haven't got my wings.
You haven't got your wings. Yeah, that's right. Yes, what kind of party got started here? I guess. Sit down. Hello, Nick. Where's Martini?
Want a martini?
No, Martini, your boss. Where is he?
Hey, look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Okay, all right. Double bourbon, will you? And quick, huh?
What's yours?
Oh, I was just thinking, how about a flaming rum punch? No, it's not cold enough for that. Not nearly cold enough. Wait a minute. I've got it. Mulled wine, heavy on the cinnamon, and light on the cloves. Off with you, my lad, and be lively.
Hey, look, mister. We serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast. Don't need any characters around to give the joint atmosphere.
What's he talking about?
Look, Nick. Just give him the same as mine. He's okay. What's the matter with him? I never saw Nick act like that before.
Oh, you'll see a lot of strange things from now on, George.
Hey, little fella, you worry me, you know? You got someplace to sleep? Any money?
No.
No wonder you jumped in the river.
I jumped in the river to save you so I could get my wings. Oh, did you hear that? Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell ring, it means that some angel's just got his wings.
Wait, what's that?
Look, I think maybe you better not mention about getting your wings around here.
Why, don't they believe in angels?
Yeah, they believe in them.
Well, why should they be surprised when they see one?
He never grew up. He's... How old are you anyway, Clarence?
293, Ixnay.
That does it. Out you two pixies. Go through the door or out the window.
Look, Nick, what's wrong?
Now, that's another thing. Where do you come off calling me Nick? Oh, well, look who the cat drug in. Hey, you rummy there. Come here.
Wait, isn't that Mr. Gower? What's wrong with him?
Didn't I tell you to never come panhandling around here, huh? Hey, here's a little refresher.
Mr. Gower, what's it? Mr. Gower, look, this is George Bailey.
I don't know you.
Throw him out.
Hey, Nick, isn't that Mr. Gower, the druggist?
You know, that's another reason for me not to like you. That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning a kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Let me show you gentlemen to the door.
Now, hold on, Nick.
Stay out. Oh, crazy. Tura, say, look. Great guy. Get me. I'm giving out wings.
What the?
You see, George, you weren't there to stop Gower from putting that poison into the capsule.
What do you mean I wasn't there? I remember distinctly. Look, who are you?
I told you, George, I'm your guardian angel.
Why am I seeing all these strange things here?
Don't you understand, George? It's because you were not born.
Well, if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name's George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy, no Zuzu's pedals.
Zuzu's pedals? How do you know about them?
I told you. I know everything about you. I saw you when you fixed her flower. You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
This is some sort of funny dream I'm having. So long, mister. I'm going home.
Home? What home?
Now shut up! Cut it out! You're crazy, that's what I think. You're screwy. You're driving me crazy, too. I'm seeing things here. I'm going home and see my wife and family. You understand that? And I'm going home alone.
How am I doing, Joseph? Thanks. No, I did not have a drink.
Oh, me. What's this? Welcome to Pottersville? Pottersville? Wait. Oh, finally. Bert!
Yeah, what?
Hey, where did the building alone move to?
The building of what?
The Bailey building alone. It was up there.
They went out of business years ago.
Bert, what? Yeah, I've had a bad night. Don't joke with me like that.
By the smell of your breath, you'll have a bad morning, too. Take a walk. Beat it.
Well, I'll beat. Oh, look. Hey, Ernie. Take me home. I'm going off my nut.
Where do you live?
Now, doggone it, Ernie, don't you start pulling that stuff. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore. Now, hurry up.
All right, 320. 320 Sycamore?
Yeah, hurry up. Zuzu's sick. Come on. Come on, Ernie. Now, straighten me out here. Look, I've got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me. Now, you are Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kid. That's right, isn't it?
You've seen my wife?
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Pottersfield. My wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid, and I ain't never seen you before in my life, see?
Okay, well, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house been lived in for 20 years.
Mary, Tommy, Petey, Janie, Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
How did you... No. Where are they? What have you done with them?
All right, put up your hands. No fast moves. Come on out here, both of you.
Bert, thanks heavens you're here. What happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where's my kids?
Watch him, Bert.
Bert, Ernie, what's the matter with you two guys? You were here on my wedding night.
Look, now why don't you be a good kid and we'll take you into the doctor. Everything's gonna be all right.
Bert, no, listen to me. Ernie, will you take me over to my mother's house? Bert, listen, it's that fellow there. He says he's an angel. He's trying to hypnotize me.
I hate to do this to you, bud, but
Run, George, run!
get back here. Well, at least I'll get you, little guy. You can explain at the station what goes on.
Joseph, help! Help!
Shut up!
Help! Oh, Joseph! Joseph!
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I had him right here. I need a drink.
Well,
Mother,
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, it's me, George. I thought sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Mother, listen, please help me. Something terrible's happened to me. Please let me come in and keep me here until I get over it.
Get over what? I don't take in strangers unless they're sent here by somebody I know.
Well, I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him? When did you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
It's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. And when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he, George?
Okay. The last man I talked to before all this stuff happened to me was Martini. He lives in Bailey Park. I'll find him. How is this the cemetery? Where are the houses?
You weren't there to build them.
Wait, what's this stone? In memory of our beloved son, Harry Bailey.
Your brother Harry broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence?
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell. You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she?
She's an old maid. She never married. She's just about to close up the library. Oh, there must be some easier way for me to get my wings.
Mary.
What? Who are you? Stay away.
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me?
I don't know you. Let me go.
Mary, please, don't do this to me.
This wild man is chasing me. Somebody stop him.
Hey, you, cut that out.
Clarence.
Nancy, come on, buddy.
Sorry, Bert.
Oh, son of a... Stand back.
Clarence! 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 Help me, Clarence! Get me back! Give me back! I don't care what happens to me. Give me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarence, please. I want to live again. I want to live again. Please, Clarence, help me. I want to live again. Please, God, let me live again.
George, you all right?
Now get out of here, Bert, or I'll hit you again.
What the Sam Hill are you yelling for, George?
George. Bert, do you know me?
Know you? You kidding? I've been looking all over town trying to find you. Hey, your mouth's bleeding. Are you sure you're all right?
My mouth's bleeding, Bert. Bert, and Judith Petals. There they are. What do you know about that? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry. Yeah, hello, Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter.
Happy New Year to you in jail. Go on home. They're waiting for you.
Mary! Oh, hello, Mr. Bank Examiner, Mr. Sheriff, and oh, photographer. Welcome to our home. How are you?
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000.
George, I've got a little paper here for you.
Oh, I bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? I'm going to jail. Merry Christmas. Where's Mary? Oh, look at this wonderful old drafty house.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Hey,
Dad.
it's Janie, Petey. Let me look at you. Oh, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you. With Uncle Billy.
Daddy!
Suzu! Oh, you my little ginger snap. How do you feel?
Fine.
How do you feel? Are you any temperature at all?
Not a smidge of temperature.
Oh, not a such. Hallelujah.
George, darling, where have you been?
Oh, let me touch you. Are you real? You have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what's happened to me. Come on downstairs, quick. They're on their way. Now, you stand right over here by the tree. Oh, I hear them coming now. George, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
What's happening? What's happening?
Who's gonna come, Daddy?
I don't know.
Come in, Uncle Billy. Everybody in here.
George, it's all right here. Look at all this money. Isn't it wonderful? So many friends. Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. Didn't ask any questions, just said, George in trouble? Then count me in. You never saw anything like it.
What is this? Another run on the bank? Here's $242. Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, now don't crowd, don't push. Line forms on the right. Mr. Martini. Merry Christmas! Hey! Up to the jukebox!
George, here you go. I made the rounds on my charge accounts.
Mr. Gower, and Violet, is that you? I thought...
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody. All right, now get this. It's a telegram from London. Mr. Gower cabled. You need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas. Sam Wainwright.
And George, I got something for you. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Bailey, a very Merry Christmas to you.
Guess we won't be needing this warrant tonight. Merry Christmas, George.
Hey, it's Harry!
Mary, I got him here from the airport just as fast as I could. The fool flew all the way up here in a blizzard.
Harry, how about your banquet in New York?
Oh, I left right in the middle of it as soon as I got Mary's telegram. Everyone, a toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Daddy, there's a letter in the pile. Read it.
Well, I'll be. Dear George, remember no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
Who's that?
It's a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Sure.
Well done all. A big round of applause for everyone. If you just stick around for 1 minute more, we just have kind of a brief message from our president.
Give us money, make me pay, make me pay. That's all I want to say.
Make him pay.
Happy New Year 2021. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Great job, and have a wonderful new year.
Happy New Year, all.
New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.